Welcome back, listeners. You are listening to Passage to Profit, the Inventor Show on WOR 710, the Voice of New York, with Richard and Elizabeth Gearhart. If you are just tuning in, wow, you missed some great content here. So it will be on our podcast tomorrow on iHeart, and it will be on our YouTube channel if you want to see some of the things that we're talking about. And that is Passage to Profit on YouTube. But now I have had the lucky opportunity to interview Lee Torres for my Fireside site. And if you are an entrepreneur and you are selling anything that is a product that you need to ship, you need to talk to Lee because Lee can save you big bucks. So welcome, Lee. Tell us all about your company.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. And thank you guys for the opportunity. It's been really great listening to everybody, a lot of relatable stuff. So it's been a true enjoyment for me. Bellhop Logistics is the company name. I'm the founder and CEO of Bellhop, and we solve a problem that's been going on for decades in the industry, and that's volume. If you're a shipping company or a business or an entrepreneur, everything is based on volume. When you work with carriers like FedEx or UPS, think about someone that might be spending $2, $3, $4, $5 million in shipping a year. They still have a rep, and maybe they get some Dodger tickets thrown at them and whatnot, but everybody's more focused on profit, right, or profitability, or the bottom line. So what we offer is a program that has no fees, no volume requirements, and no contracts for any type of shipper. I'm focusing my attention on the small to medium-sized businesses because that's truly the people, especially this year in 2020, that need the help. But our programs are geared to help people increase not only their profitability, but reduce the headaches and monotony that come with being a shipper. So aside from being able to save people money on services like FedEx, USPS, UPS, DHL, we also do freight and even import-export across the ocean. It's a full-service logistics company, but what's more dear and near to our hearts is the service that we offer. It's actually the reason we call the company Bellhop. It kind of says in and of itself who we are and what we do. We want people to know that when they work with Bellhop that they've arrived, that we're going to elevate their service, and that we're going to help them kind of go down this path, especially if you're just starting. One of the quotes that I use very often is by the great Maya Angelou, that says, "You may not remember me for what it is that I said or what I did, but you will remember me for how I make you feel." And we're huge on making people feel confident, taken care of, and comfortable, and also having a place that they can come where they're not going to have to go through an 800 number or a call center, or have to find somebody that's overseas, someone that's actually in their time zone or in their country rather, that can actually help them kind of see things from 1,000 feet up and help you make that left or right turn when you need to. So we're huge on service. We're huge on savings. I appreciate the opportunity, and that is a little bit about Bellhop.
Wow, that's great. How do you save money for small shippers? I assume that you're buying sort of chunks of shipping at a discount because you buy a large chunk or something. But how do the mechanics of that work? So
it's definitely based on negotiating power, Richard. I've partnered also with some companies that have the clout in the industry, so they're authorized resellers of programs like FedEx and DHL. So these programs, because they already retain so much volume, that means that our customers don't have to have it. So whether you ship one package or you ship 10, they still are able to get that great discount because we already hold the volume with the carrier, so you don't have to.
So that sounds...
So it's like group insurance, basically.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
You got a whole bunch of people doing the same thing and they pay less because then they're one big chunk, right? So
yeah, exactly.
You actually have on your website a calculator to calculate how much money you can save shipping with you versus just the regular way, right?
That's right. Yeah, you just plug in the carrier, and you plug in how many packages you're doing, via ground or express or through USPS. And then it's a free look, really. It kind of gives you, and this is just based off of our averages and the client base that we have that we can kind of benchmark against. So we use that number, and then you get a free look, and then we say we don't spam. If you want to send your email to us, we'll get back in touch with you and get in contact with how you can achieve that pretty easily.
After I interviewed Lee, I talked to somebody who's a one-man shop who's doing promotional items who uses Lee. And I said to the guy, and I forget his name, but I said, "Is that really true?" And he's like, "Yeah, you wouldn't believe how much money this guy has saved me." So there was a testimonial.
I
So
appreciate that. Yeah.
what is the average savings then? I mean, 10%, 20%?
So I would say usually between 9 and 12%. We usually land around the 10% range. So I mean, you could see a company. Well, I'll share a story. So I have a client that we just brought on about 6 to 8 weeks ago. They're a company in Las Vegas. They do apparel. They actually do these great like adult onesies that you can put on. So if you want to look like a giraffe or more power to
Kangaroo.
you. Yeah, a kangaroo. And they were shipping. They were with a program with UPS, and they were shipping about $2.5 million per year. That's just their shipping spend, $2.5 million. And so we came in, we did our analysis, we crunched the numbers, switched them to a program with FedEx, and are now saving them over $18,000 a month. It's almost a $250,000 that we're able to save this company. And that's an injection right back into their bottom line. Now, we're also helping them from a service side. We offer them technology integration. We have shipping systems that help them integrate with Amazon, Shopify, Etsy, all that kind of stuff, all for free. And it's a blessing. I've been doing this for over 10 years now. Not the company. The company actually started during the pandemic, but I've been in this industry, and it's just really great when you can help a business owner or a business see the value. I mean, literally, that's money that it's a college fund. It's helping their business grow. They can inject that back into the business and market whatever it is that they choose to do that. But it's now we've kind of now stopped the bleeding and give them an influx in profit that they can enjoy month over month. So it's awesome.
Is there, I think you mentioned that you're also involved, you ship freight. Is there a limit to the volume of freight that you can handle for a client, or are you sort of limited to smaller items?
No, so we do everything from the domestic standpoint, it could be a pallet, it can be a full truckload, and from the international import-export side, it can be a full 20 or 40-foot container. Coming from China, say, or from India, or from South Africa, whatever it might be. We can help with all size, all weights, and yeah, there's really no limitation. What I'm marketing a lot to the small to medium-sized business is more of the small package. So that's like right on my website. It's the landing page, but there's much more service to Misty's point that we can offer, and we can move it up in the air, by the ocean, by truck, by rail, all modes of transportation.
What's your website, Lee?
Bellhopship.com. No, and I appreciate your comments. I think it was really relatable, Jack, that you were saying earlier that service sometimes ends up being your competitive advantage.
Yep.
And that's where we're really big on that. And obviously, if you can save money to an extreme on top of being serviced and being pampered and taken care of, I think it's huge. And I think that going back to Miss D, as far as content, like what you're putting out there, it's not just about, oh, we're saving your money. That's an easy thing but putting that in a frame of mind where a CEO all the way down to the warehouse manager finds value in what you're talking about, I think is important. So content creation is huge, I think, and I agree with you guys.
He's working with Gerhardt Law on getting his trademark through. So we're right now in the midst of negotiating with the trademark office to get his mark registered. But one of the things that he mentioned that I thought was really interesting is that a lot of people don't want to deal with shipping. I mean, you love shipping, but there are other people who find filling out all the paperwork and everything a little bit tedious, and you take care of all of that. So that's one less thing that a business owner has to worry about, and they can concentrate on other aspects of their business, right? And
Yeah, exactly. I tell my clients, if it's going to take you more than 5 minutes on the phone, put it on us. That's what we're here for. You move on to your next project. You worry about shipping out that next or completing that next project so you can continue to profit. Let me worry about the claim, or let's help you fill out that commercial invoice for that international shipment, whatever it might be. So we're definitely there to not only save people money, but also create time for them too.
Right. And for people that say, well, I just charge the shipping to my customers. Well, don't charge it to me, because I'm not going to pay a lot for shipping. Personally, I order stuff online. I did before COVID. And if I go to check out and the shipping cost is too high, I just cancel the order. So if you are still, even if you're making your customers pay for the shipping, they don't want to pay a lot. So this is another good solution for that too.
Yeah, I agree. They say I think it's something like 70% of people that shop online they abandon their cart because of what you just said, right? If it's a high shipping cost. So we get a lot of people close to a free shipping model. Amazon and Walmart have kind of messed with the industry and made everybody think that Prime and 2-day shipping is the norm. So it's all about quick, it's all about free, it's all about, and that's tough. That's tough on the business owner. So we're here to help them either profit more or make them more competitive out there in the market where they can offer a free shipping model as opposed to maybe their competitor.
So Lee, if I sign up with you, then what happens? I just tell you what I need to ship when? Do I send you my customer list? Like, how does it work with you?
Yeah, we have a portal. We have a couple of portals that integrate with your shipping system. So, as I mentioned, if you're a Shopify user or an Amazon user, it'll pull the orders from your Amazon into this portal, and then it's basically to eliminate any kind of keystroke errors or you having to do any manual entries. And basically, you would go in and you have your pricing loaded in there, which we set up for you. It was custom. We go through the analysis phase prior to everything. And you really go on there and you just click and it prints your label. And so if you're a home-based business, it prints your label on an 8.5 by 11 sheet. If you're in a warehouse or a manufacturer like Jack was talking about, they typically have thermal label printers that you can print a UPS or a FedEx label on. So it really kind of integrates and intertwines with your process. We're all about fitting your model, not you fitting ours. So everything is custom and super easy to use.
How do people, what's the best way to work with you in terms of making sure it makes sense?
So yeah, making dollars and cents is important to us. So typically what we do on the front end is we get data from the client and then we'll do an analysis and we'll actually forecast, right? Because we want to do a quarterly business review every quarter with you and make sure that we're hitting that mark. Just so that you can see the value, not only the dollar savings, but the value that we're offering you and what we know and how to benchmark this. So really it's analysis. Next step at that point is, once you see that and you kind of feel comfortable with us, then we can move into, okay, how do we implement this? How do we need to integrate to your system? How can we make this easy on you? Because it isn't a flip of a switch. It's something that can take, sometimes weeks, just to make sure that we're training folks, that we're meeting folks, that we're coming in and we're building a relationship really with you, because it's not just we're not interested in a one pop. It's we want a relationship. We want to work with you decades down the line. Yeah.
So we're not only promoting businesses, we're helping consumers and business owners all over the planet, really, by the time we're done with this, right? So you are listening to Passage to Profit, the Inventor Show. If you missed this episode, you're just tuning in, it is on our podcast, our YouTube channel tomorrow, but you really missed a lot if you missed this. So make sure you go back.
We got
and
it all
listen.
covered tonight.
Yes. We'll be right back.